Welcome everyone to the Prop Off channel, where today we're doing something a little different. Now, usually I give you anime reviews of each anime that has come out this season, but what I'm going to do today is give you a tier list and my ranking of all these animes. Now, for our tier list, we're going to have just our regular tiers like S, A, B, C, D, and F. If it's just a really bad anime. But I also added some other unique tiers, such as trash anime. So anime that is good as trash or just trashy. If you like this type of thing, I'm going to use this category for animes that really weren't for me, but maybe animes that you would like. And then I also have didn't watch, because I try to watch every anime of the season, but some just slip through my grasp, especially returning animes. So I'll just let you know off the bat that I didn't see them, okay? So you have that information going through. Now, you may agree with my rankings or you may not like them. Let me know in the comments below what I got wrong, what I need to give a second watch, or if I didn't watch something, let me know that I really should watch it, okay? So with that out of the way, let's begin and let's get into our tier list. So the first one we're going to start with is Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian. And for this one, I'm going to give it a C. Now, I did not watch completely. I haven't caught up completely with it. I've watched a couple of episodes in, and honestly, it has not been able to hold my attention. I think the premise is okay. I really just want the main two characters to just kind of communicate. And I guess in these romance animes, non-communication is kind of the thing. But honestly, I think it would fix a lot of problems and make this anime better. I think there's a lot of romance animes even this season that are doing what they're doing a little better. So I think this one is middle of the road. So for me, that's C tier. This is middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not good. It's average, right? It's a C. The next one I have for you here, and I'm going to put this off, and I'm going to start my first one in S tier. And this one is Terminator Zero. Now, why am I putting this in S? Well, it's because it's actually made a good follow-up Terminator, right? I honestly think that it does what Hollywood has not been able to do and make a successful Terminator sequel and talk about the Terminator story in and of itself. I think the animation's really good. I think it has some high concepts. I think the action's good. Overall, I think it's a great anime, especially if you like Terminator. Seeing the anime spin on it and seeing them doing it better, I think it's just been great. So I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy it. If you don't think it's S rank, I can understand. I think I can give it a high A. But really what pushes it over the edge to that S rank is that it's good, where Terminator has not been good in a lot of the other movies. So that's my first S rank. I'm going to put it out the way, and I'm giving it one. All right, my next one that I'm going to do is Kengan Ashura Season 2. Oh, this is going to be another C tier. This one wants to be a Baki, but it is just not a Baki. It's not as good as Baki. I wish it was, honestly. If it was, it would make me feel a lot better. And I don't even think Baki's the best anime, but I just do think that Kengan Ashura is just really average. It's middle of the road. The fights are okay, right? They're not even the best fights that we've seen this season. In other animes, I think they've done better fight scenes. And for something that's just all about the fights, I do think the fights are kind of lackluster. So for that one, I'm giving it a C. It's middle of the road. It's an alright average anime. Now the next one. This one is Ramen Akaneko. Now for this one, I think this anime is good. But I think if you like this type of thing, if you like cats running a cafe, I think you're really going to like this anime. So I'm not putting it in here because I think it's bad. I'm putting it in here because I think if you really like it, you're going to really like it, right? It may even be like an S tier for you. The cuddly cats, they're cute. Watching someone who's really grooming cats all the time and kind of that interesting balance, I think is a lot of fun. So I do think if you like that type of thing, you're really going to like Ramen Akaneko. Give it a try. If you like cats, if you like cutesy anime, give it a try. I think you'll like it. Next one for me, and this is going into S tier for me, but it's Rising Impact Season 2. Now, I currently watch season 1 when Netflix dropped it, and when Netflix dropped season 2, I watched all of it. And I'm putting it in S tier because I'm going to be honest. If Birdie Wing happened this season, I'd also put Birdie Wing in S tier. And this is because these animes have made me care about golf. Now, personally, if it's not mini golf, I am not a golf fan. I won't watch it. I won't care about it. Nothing. But these animes got me into golf. And I'm not even really a big sports anime guy, but I am watching this and could not put it down. So I enjoyed the heck out of it. So it's getting my S tier because it made me care about a sport that I do not care about at all. And I think any anime that can do that, that can be engaging, have enough drama, that can make you root for characters and make you care about a sport that you don't care about, automatic S rank for me there. So give it, if you haven't watched it, give it a try. It is a lot of fun. I really, really like it. My next one. This one is going straight into my trash, and that's Mirai in Love. I don't like the premise of this. I do think the animation is good. I do like its weird take on its animation. I like when animes take risks with their animation. Let me just say that. I really like when they take risks. And I think this one did a great job at taking risks for its animation, but everything else I don't like. I think it's a trash show. Now, let me say something about my trash tier, okay? Trash tier is not necessarily bad, right? There's trash animes that are really, really good, but they're just trashy. And I think Mirai in Love is going to fall in that category for me. So if you're liking it and I put it in trash and you're like, know that I don't hate trash. I watch a lot of trashy animes. I'm going to put another anime on here which I think is trash, but I love it. So don't get discouraged just because I'm putting something in trash. All right. Next one. Oshinoko Season 2. I'm going to put on didn't watch. Now, I did watch Season 1, and I have caught up with what's kind of happening in the manga, and if you know, you know. I won't put too much spoilers in there. And it's just going in directions that I just don't like. It's not really my cup of tea. Just like Mirai in Love, which kind of has some problematic elements in it, I think Oshinoko does have too, and I really don't like watching those problematic elements. So I don't watch it. Now, I know a lot of people really love Oshinoko, and they really love Season 2 of it as well, and love the manga and everything else. So if you like it, watch it. I'm not watching it. I just didn't watch it. I won't put it in if you like this type of thing, just because I didn't watch it enough of Season 2 to really give it those good marks. So that's getting in my did not watch. My next one is Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. This is getting automatically into my A tier. Now, I know what you're thinking. A tier, yes, I love Isekai. I'm an Isekai fan. I love trash Isekais. I love revenge Isekais. And I think I really like this one. Unlike Rising of the Shield Hero or something else, where there's a lot of slavery and other things in this, this doesn't have those problematic elements. It's just taking that revenge tale from the Isekai and going forward with it. I really enjoyed Failure Frame. I really liked it. I continue to like it as I watch it. So it's definitely one that gets my seal of approval. If you like Isekai, I think you'll like Failure Frame. Next up, Wisteria, Wand and Sword. That's also getting A tier. Now, originally, I'm going to be honest, I watched the first couple of episodes and dropped it. I didn't want to watch it. I thought that things like Mashle just did it better. But then I came back to it, watched more of it, and I really appreciated what it was doing. And I still appreciate it now. Now, I think I like Mashle a little more than Wisteria, Wand and Sword, just because I like the comedic aspects of Mashle and how it doesn't take itself too seriously. And I love how Mashle always got them hands. But for Wisteria, I like its more serious aspect. I'm enjoying a lot of it now. I really want to see Will, the main character, kind of make it as a Magi Avenger and make it up into that tower. I am rooting for him. So this is an anime that won me over. So if you're watching it and you're like not getting really grabbed by the first episode or even the first two, keep giving it a try. It does get a lot better, and I'm really, really enjoying this, right? So we get that unique character that doesn't have magic powers, that goes to a magic school, just like Mashle. As Mashle is kind of comedic. This one is very serious and what he's trying to do to overcome this deficiency of him not being able to use magic and really getting better in this world. So I like the heck out of it. Take a watch if you haven't seen it. It's definitely good. Next up is My Hero, and get ready to yell at me. Didn't watch My Hero. I've given up on My Hero. I didn't watch this season. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. I just didn't watch it. If I should watch it, if you're like, yo, you're really missing out on My Hero, let me know. I just personally don't care for My Hero, so I'm not watching it. I just feel like I got more interesting animes to watch this season, so I just haven't watched it. Speaking of more interesting, this is not one of them. My next one is Days with My Stepsister. That's going back into trash. It's slow, it's middling. I don't think it's even fun trash. I think it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't enjoy watching it. I don't like the problematic elements. You can already see what I'm putting in trash, that I don't like those type of things. If you do, let me know. But for me, Days with My Stepsister, slow, boring, not the best premise. It's overall just not even trash. Let me just put it in F tier. I'm just gonna put it in F. I think it's just bad. I think it's a bad anime. So let me put that in F. So Days with My Stepsister, let's give it a thumbs down. All right, Tower of God Season 2. That's going into A tier. I love Tower of God. I've read the webcomic. I liked and enjoyed Season 1, and I'm enjoying the heck out of Season 2. Tower of God, I think, is doing all the right things. It has a good blend of action, a good blend of drama, makes you care about your characters, the animation as well. They dropped that Crunchyroll original label on it, but I don't think that hurts really what Season 2 has been doing. And if you like Tower of God, you're going to continue to like it, and you're going to like Season 2. All right, my next one, I Parry Everything. This is one that the first episode, or even the second episode, I would give this maybe a B, close to an A tier, depending on where it goes. But currently, the way it has been going, it's a solid D for me. This is really because, and later on when we're going through animes, I'm going to show you something that I think does I Parry Everything just a little better. This one, I am just sick and tired of this guy not figuring out that he is strong, right? It's fine for the first couple of episodes that he doesn't know it, but it went on way too long, and I think it really distracts and takes away from the enjoyment that we could really have with the character. Him learning his strength, him seeing him overcome obstacles and everything, but it just goes back to, I don't know, strong. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's getting D for me. If it could fix that problem, it moves up. But honestly, right now, I think it's in a D tier. I just think that it can't move on beyond its basic premise. And I think that's bad. You got a short episode over. You got to move on. The character has to grow. More things have to happen. And I think I Parry Everything just doesn't go that far. Now, the next one, the strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human. I'm going to give that... This one I think I'm going to give a solid B. I'm deciding between B and A, and I think solid B actually works for that one. It's not a bad anime. I think it's good. I really like its premise of really getting a human who has to work for the demons and kind of balancing like the being on the sides of the demon, but yet being more human and not letting anybody know that he's a secret human, and kind of how humans are actually also bad in this world and trying to go for it. So I really think it has a lot of good elements for it. The animation is really nothing spectacular. I think it's okay. The animation's fine. It's not like high levels animation. It's a regular anime. But I think its story and its premise really elevated. So I think that gives it a little above average. So I definitely think that B tier really works. Now, our next one, the Osen Nubi adventurer trained to death by the most powerful party becomes invincible. Now, this one I was talking about when I was talking about I Parry Everything and saying I think it did its premise and did it better. We both have people here who thought they were unextraordinary, and later in life they kept training and became very strong. And so in Osen, he becomes very strong by training with the most powerful party. Now, just like I Parry Everything, he thinks that he's really weak in the beginning, but unlike I Parry Everything, he gets over that in the first couple of episodes, and then we get to move on, have character developments, have tournaments, more things happen. So I think it does better than I Parry Everything. And I think it's a solid B anime. I do think it has a lot of good elements to it. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I think it's a solid anime, and like I said, I think if you like I Parry Everything, give Osen Newbie Adventure a try. I think it does what it's doing, just better. Now my next one, No Longer Allowed in Another World. That's getting A tier. Man, I love this isekai anime. Really, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think the main character is hilarious. And the premise of getting someone isekai'd who is really at the point of death, of committing suicide, and then isekai'ing them to another world where they don't necessarily want to live, right? He was trying to take himself out, and kind of seeing his adventures of him trying to commit suicide in this world is actually really funny. And I know when I sound that premise, it sounds really wrong, but it's really funny. It does not take itself seriously. It's really funny. Give it a chance. I think you'll really like it. If you like isekais, if you like comedies, give No Longer Allowed in Another World another try. It has all the things that you like of isekai. The main protagonist is not OP. He does have a unique skill, but he's not really OP. But just his attitude is what really gets him through everything. And I think that's really great. So No Longer Allowed in Another World, that's an A tier. I really think it's a really good anime. Now my next one's going to be a little controversial. I'm going to give Spice and Wolf a B. I think it's fine. I know a lot of people are going to be like, heck no, S tier, A tier. How dare you give Spice and Wolf a B? I think it's all right. I think if you like this kind of economics behind it, learning about economy or being a merchant, I should say, and you're into furries, I think you'll find a lot of things to like for it. I find it to be all right. I don't think it's average. It's definitely above average, but I think it's an okay anime, so it's getting a B for me. I know. Tell me in the comments. Let me know how wrong I am. I have to even catch up on Spice and Wolf. It's just one that I put on the back burner, and I watch others before I watch it. I just don't think it's as engaging as I want it to be. So that is just me. But I do think the animation's really lovely, so that's what definitely elevates it for me. So I think it has great animation. Definitely in there. All right, next one. Why does no one remember me in this world? This is getting another solid B tier. This is another isekai, but I do think that it has, like, it's an adjacent isekai. He gets transported to a parallel version of his world where humans used to be at war with different fantasy races, and kind of in his world they overcame it, but in the parallel world that he's in, the humans actually lost the war against the other fantasy races. But since he comes from a world where the fantasy races won, it kind of understands why he has OP skills, because he knows how to fight the monsters better than people in this parallel world. And then he also gets a god tier weapon that helps him overcome that. So we do have a protag. He's not really OP. He really gets by the fights by the skin of his teeth, so I really think that's good. And I think there's a lot to enjoy in that anime. I personally really like watching it. I have a lot of fun watching it, and it's one that I keep up with as well. All right, my next one that I think a lot of people like, but I'm going to put, and if you like this type of thing, and that's Pseudo Harem. I'm not the biggest harem fan. I don't like harems. But I do think that this one has a unique view on a harem. Instead of being your standard harem, it's a girl who's a great actor who acts like all the different harem girls that you'll see, and she does it for this boy that she likes. So I do like that, but I think it just gets old very quickly. Where your other harems, at least when you have the push and pull from all the different girls in the harem, it kind of makes things interesting. I don't think this one is that interesting when you put it into one character. I feel like it gets stale and it gets old. But I really think if you are into that type of thing, I think you'll like Pseudo Harem, especially if you like romance animes, slice of life, you like the school type things. I think you'll actually like Pseudo Harem. If you're a theater kid, I really think you'll like Pseudo Harem. So that's why I don't want to give Pseudo Harem a bad mark. But I do think if you like it, you'll like it. Okay? Okay, this next one. This is so hard. My dear friend Nakotan. I'm having a hard time where to put this. I think I'm going to put it in trash. And not because, again, trash anime is not bad anime. It's just trashy anime. This one is a comedy. It doesn't take itself seriously. It has really weird animation, but I think it's fun trash. It's a fun trashy anime. It doesn't have like boobs or anything else in there, but it's just weird. It's a really weird anime. Maybe I should put it if you like this type of thing. Maybe I'll put it there. Actually, I'll put it in if you like this type of thing. If you like a comedy that has live action deers in it, and I really mean live action deers, then My Dear Nakatan is for you. It's about two girls who become friends, and one is kind of a deer human, and she's the only one who really recognizes that she's a deer human. Everyone else is kind of like she's just a regular girl. It's really weird. Take a look if you like it. If it's your type of thing. Take a look. All right, next one. Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World Season 2. Didn't watch it. I didn't watch Season 1 of this, so I just didn't have time with all the new animes airing to go back and watch all of Season 1 to then watch all of Season 2, so I just haven't watched it. Let me know in the comments if it's good. Actually, that's going to be the same with my next one. The Caffrey Terrace and Its Goddess. Season 2 came out. I also didn't watch it. I missed the first season. Haven't caught up. Let me know in the comments if either one of those are really good animes and if they're ones I should be watching. Maybe when I catch up on all these animes, I'll come back and watch those as well. All right, Maikainen, Too Many Losing Heroines. I think that's an average... It's an average anime. I think it does try to be a little different in its harem anime with its kind of premise that it's going for. But overall, I find it to be middling of the road. I think it's average, so I'm going to put that in C tier. Now we have another harem anime, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. I'm going to put that in D. Harems are just not my thing. And this one, the 2.5, I think if you're looking for cosplay in harems, My Dress Up Darling is a better one, right? It's just a better anime all around. I don't think 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is that good. It kind of gets even a little weirder when you get kind of some of the other love interests going in, and you really want to be like, for this dude, you're too popular for this. I don't like the main character. I think he's a scrub. I don't like it. It's a D tier. I don't think it does anything unique or anything interesting. All right, next one. A Journey Through Another World, Raising Kids While Adventuring. That's going to go into the C tier. It's one of those animes that is really trying to make you really like kids and saying having kids, excellent and fun. The kids are interesting. It's an average anime. It's nothing spectacular. I don't think. I think it's very average. It is an isekai, and it does have a unique premise in isekai since you are raising children when being isekai'd in that. But honestly, I think it's just all right. I've had a hard time keeping up with this one. But it's all right. I think it's middle of the road. Let me know if you think it's better. Next up is Suicide Squad Isekai. Now this one, I'm between a B and an A tier, really, for this one. I like the DC characters. I like Suicide Squad. I enjoyed the latest James Gunn Suicide Squad. I enjoyed the Peacemaker show. So I think that, for me, pushes it up into A tier. Now, I will caveat this. I think the first couple of episodes are not that great. I do think it gets better as it goes on. So I think, no, maybe B. I'm going to put in B. I'm going to put in B. It's a good anime. It's really good. If you like DC characters, I really think you'll like this as well. It makes a good premise of its isekai of getting these DC characters into a fantasy realm and seeing how the villains will really react into it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I like its take on its animation. I think there's a lot of good things in there. If you're a DC fan, definitely take a look. I want to put it back in A now. I'm going to keep it in B. I want to put it in A, but I want to keep it in B. All right. Next one, A Nobody's Way Up to an Exploitation Hero. That's just trash. I'm putting it in trash. I don't know why everyone has to be a little girl. I don't understand it. I think that we can make things more interesting if they weren't little girls. So basically, if you don't know this one, the premise of this one is our main character dives into dungeons and he gets these summon cards and he gets to summon ultra powerful people, but those ultra powerful summons happen to be little girls for him. And it's kind of like a pseudo harem. Not the anime a pseudo harem, but a pseudo harem itself with these young summon girls. I don't like it. It's trash for me. I'm gonna put it in the trash tier. If you think I'm wrong and say no, it's actually really good, let me know. But for me, straight trash. So I'm gonna keep it in the trash tier. All right, up next we have Fairy Tail: 100-Year Quest. I'm gonna be honest, haven't watched it yet. I've watched the original Fairy Tail, but I just haven't caught up with it yet. Like I said, I got a lot of new animes to watch, but let me know how you're enjoying it. Next one is The Elusive Samurai, and that's going straight into A tier for me right there. I didn't think I would enjoy this anime as much as I enjoyed it. For this one, we have our main character who basically loses everything. He used to be the son of basically the Shogun, and now he lost everything and he has to reclaim it, and he has to also learn how to fight. But he's really bad at fighting, but he's really good at running away. So it's about using your skills and using those to your best of your abilities, which I think Elusive Samurai does well. So I'm really enjoying the characters in there. I really enjoy the fight scenes in a unique way. They try to blend with his running away with actually being able to fight, and I think it has interesting characters as well. I like the animation and the places that it goes. So overall, I'm really enjoying The Elusive Samurai. I think you should try it as well. I think you'll like it. Next one is Love is Indivisible by Twins. That one is interesting. I think it's not really a harem. It's basically a romance triangle. I think it's a solid B. I think I'll give that one a solid B. It's above average for an anime and for basically a romance one as well. I don't think it's spectacular, but I think if you like slice of life romance animes and you want a love triangle between twins and a guy, definitely take a look at this one. I think you'll really like it. Now the next one, Dahlia in Bloom: Crafting a Fresh Start with Magical Tools. That's getting into my A tier. I'm enjoying Dahlia or Dahlia? Delilah? I'm forgetting which one, how to pronounce it right now. But I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I love to see someone being isekai'd and not necessarily be an OP protagonist. She is just a magic artificer, and she's trying to live her new life again by going to magic tools and trying to learn how to be her own woman again after she has a failed relationship. So we get to see trials and tribulations, really how it is when your relationship breaks down and who you think you are. You try to change for a person, and now you have to learn who yourself is again and kind of seeing that journey. I think that's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think it has a lot of great things about it. So it's not your basically like adventure isekai. It's more of your slice of life isekai, but I do think that it's very good. All right, next one is Atri, My Dear Moments. This one, where do I want to put this? I'm going to put it as average. I'm going to put it into C. I'm going to put it as average. It deals with robots in a futuristic world. I think it's all right. The animation, the story, it's okay. There's nothing spectacular. I dropped this one after a couple of episodes. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I think it's just an average anime, really at best there. Next one is The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Arch Enemies. And I'm going to put this straight in B. I love this anime. I do think I could even put it higher, but I think it is a little above average anime here. It is funny. If you watch this one, and it's not very long, the episodes are like 12 minutes apiece, but it basically is a magic girl and an evil organization. They start to fall in love with each other. But there's a lot of comedy in place, especially with the magical girl and where she gets her power from and the things that she has to do. It's funny. So it's really a slice of life romance looking at magical girls with a lot of comedy in place in it. I really do enjoy this. It's very short. I think it would even be fun on Adult Swim and English. I think people would really enjoy it and like it. So I'm going to give that a solid B. Now, Soshouman, How to Become Ordinary. I'm going to put this as an average anime. I like mystery animes, right? But I just didn't enjoy this one. I found it slow. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the mysteries. I just thought it was average. I would even put it down to D. As a mystery fan, I just think it fails a lot in that place. I just don't like it. I don't like the mysteries. I think I'm gonna put it in D tier. I think it's a little below average. There's a lot better ones that you can do and watch. This one's just not one of them. Bye Bye Earth. This is gonna be another solid B. Okay, I think it gets itself a little above average because I do like the premise that it goes through. You do have a person who lives basically on a furry planet but is human and is trying to find her way in it. And during it, she becomes what's called a nomad. And the nomad, she has curses and things that she has to overcome. She has issues with her mentor because she's made to forget them. And she's really trying to find a place where she belongs. I really think it really is a little above average anime. I do like a lot of things about it. I did give it up at first after the first couple of episodes, but then I started watching more and liked it more. So I am going to put it above average. Next one. My Senpai is an Otoku Noko. I'm going to put that in A tier. And I'm going to put it in A tier because I really think that we get an anime from an angle that we really don't get to see a lot. And that is really a cross-dressing and maybe trans experience, not somewhat, but not fully, but really that kind of area of Japanese society and Japanese culture we don't get to see a lot of. And so it's nice seeing that from that perspective. And I think it really does it well. I like all of the main characters really in there. I like the romance and the kind of love triangle that comes from, and really just these young people discovering love. So I would say definitely give it a try. It's definitely a different aspect, something that you don't see a lot. I think that's what elevates it beyond the B category and takes it to A, really from its own premise and getting to see something that we really don't get to see a lot. Okay, what's my next one? Okay, this one I'm going to be mad at myself for, and let me know if you're mad at me for it too. This one is Nier Automata, the second half of its first season. I've watched the first half. I really have. I forgot the second season was coming out, and I was watching every other anime so I can review them, and I just dropped this one. It just dropped. I need to watch it. Let me know in the comments if it's been good the second half of the season, but I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. It's gonna be on my back burner when I can finally get caught up to all these animes. It's one that I do want to go back into and definitely watch. The second half, it's just something I haven't seen yet. All right, next is our VTuber legend, how I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream. I'm gonna put this in if you like this type of thing. I am not really into VTubers. I'm not really into looking at how to stream animes. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't think this one's that bad though. I do think the initial premise, if the VTuber was in America, she would have always gotten to be herself. So basically in this anime, there's a VTuber who goes viral that she forgets to turn off her stream and she's just her actual self. And so instead of being nice and bubbly, she like curses and drinks and then tells her actual feelings, which I feel like a lot of streamers do here in the US. So I was like, really? That's what our streamers do. I watch streamers. I feel like they are risque and do all that other stuff. But I can understand in Japan, different culture. It's not the same thing. But if you like this type of thing, go and take a look. I think you'll like it. My Wife Has No Emotion. I'm putting straight into the trash. Don't want to talk about it. It's about a guy who falls in love with a robot. I don't like it. I think it's straight trash. Let's move on. Next one up, and I'm putting this is my list, and I'm going to put this in S tier, and this is Code Geass, Rose of the Recapture. I'm a huge fan of Code Geass. I love Code Geass, and I'm really enjoying this season of Rose of the Recapture. I was describing the episodes to my partner. I was describing just the first 3 episodes, and I talked so much on it and all the drama and things that were happening and the twists and turns. I loved it, and I keep loving it as it goes forward. If you're a Code Geass fan, I think you'll find a lot to like in this. I love it. I'm putting it in S tier. It's my ranking. You may say it's an A or a B. It's my ranking. It's S. No buts about it. But I really love Code Geass. I don't want to spoil the things that happen in it, but if you're a Code Geass fan, go and watch it. If you haven't watched Code Geass, go and watch Code Geass. Come back and watch this. You'll see what all the hoopla is about, to use one of those old terms, and why people really like Code Geass. Next one, Quality Assurance in Another World. That's C tier. It's fine. It's average. It's an okay isekai anime. It's trapped in a video game from a QA tester who travels around now with a NPC who may be more than an NPC that he's coming to find out as he lives in this world. It's alright. It's fine. The animation's okay. The storyline's okay. The premise is okay. It's a straight average anime. I don't think it's bad, but I do think it's okay. Next one is Dungeon People. This one I'm going to give a B. I think it's a great, interesting premise to think about, like, what if people had to work for a dungeon, right? And have to hire monsters, have to set traps, have to do all the things that you see in a dungeon. The dungeons just don't happen. There's people administrating that. And you kind of get to see the background of that. So I do like the characters. I do like the premise. I think it is more than average. I don't think it's A tier, but I do think it is a solidly good anime, so I definitely would take that as a B. Next one is Monogatari series. Off in Monster Season. I'm going to be honest, I just haven't watched it. I haven't caught up to all of the Monogatari series, so there's too many spinoffs, too many things. I don't even know where this one is in the timeline, so I haven't watched it yet. And if you see my didn't watch list, some of these I do want to see, and some of these I just haven't gotten to see yet. Okay, my next one, Plus Size Elf. I want to put it in trash tier because it's a trashy anime, but so far my trash animes are straight trash. I'm gonna put this solidly in B. I have a lot of fun with Plus Size Elf. I really do. It is a risque anime. It is definitely for adults. And the premise of this one is we basically have a fantasy world that has a portal to go into our regular world. And so fantasy races come over. But because we have processed foods and ample sunlight and all these other things, people tend to get big here, right? They tend to get bigger. So our main character works as basically a dietitian. He does a little more of massage therapy and helps them lose weight. So definitely this is for my chubby chasers out there for this one. You're going to see a lot of things. I mean, the front and the back. You will actually see them. But it's not as risque as it seems. They use those more for comedy, but I love it. I'm enjoying Plus Size Elf. If you haven't watched it, take a look. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It is very much a comedy. But I am enjoying it. I think it's peak. If my trash animes weren't trash, I think it's peak good trash. That's what I'm gonna say. I think it's peak good trash anime. So I'm gonna give it a solid B for that. Now, next one is Mayonaka Punch. This one is also getting a solid B. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you know Mayonaka Punch, this one is about a streamer who gets kicked out of her stream and has to find a new kind of way to stream, a new avenue, because she gets kicked out of her old group. But what she finds, and why I think this is different from the VTuber Legend, or different from the other streaming ones that I watch, and why I really like this one and watch this one more, because she gets basically finds out that there's vampires in the world, and she starts streaming with vampires. I know, right? So I think unlike other streaming ones, unlike VTuber Legend, this one has an interesting premise, one that separates it from the others, and I think really takes that to the above average. Also, I'm a vampire fan too, so I like the vampire stuff that goes on in it. So if you haven't watched it, do watch Mayonaka Punch. I think it's a lot of fun, and it gets into that streaming side. It can hit that streaming itch while still having some supernatural elements for you. Next one is Shy, Season 2. I haven't watched Season 2. I'm still getting caught up on Season 1. I'm halfway through. So some of these I didn't watch. I just haven't watched the new season because I just didn't watch the old season. But Shy is one I'm catching up on. Now, I'm enjoying Season 1 of Shy. I am enjoying it. So I think that this would probably solidly be most likely a B anime, but I haven't got to season 2 yet, so I don't know if season 2 has improved. Let me know again in the comments if you have seen season 2. Is it better than season 1? Does it do better? Does it go further? Is it a must watch? Let me know. I'm just still trying to catch up to it. Next one is Delico's Nursery. I love vampires. This is vampires with kids. I'm going to put this in if you like this type of thing. Because I'm really on this. If you want these animes about raising kids, if you like having that, then you're definitely going to like this. Actually, I'm going to lie. I'm going to solidly put Delico's Nursery in B. I like the mystery aspect. I like the vampire aspect. I'm not the biggest fan on the kids, but I think it has interesting enough premises that it elevates it from, let's say, the other one that I did now. Living in another world, journey through another world, raising kids while adventuring. I do think it's a little better than that one because it has a better cast of characters. It's not an isekai, but it's weird in its premise. But it's vampires raising children. What else can I say, right? If you like that type of thing, that's why I wanted to put it. If you like that type of thing, I really think you'll like this one too. All right, next one. Tasuketsu, Fate of the Majority. That's a solid D. There are way better Death Game animes out there. This one I wanted to like, but I don't like it. I don't. It's all right. It's not even C though. It wants to have a good premise by making the Death Game large to encompass like all of Tokyo and even larger. But honestly, it's just not that interesting. The Death Games aren't interesting. The characters aren't that interesting. It's just overall a failure of a Death Game anime. I do think there's a lot better ones out there. Go and watch them. Don't watch this one. Save your time. Watch other ones. Up next, Rick and Morty the anime. I'm going to put this as an F because I think Rick and Morty the anime fails at the basic thing that Rick and Morty is, which is being a comedy. This is not a comedy. At least the episodes so far have not been funny. And I think Rick and Morty at its core is funny. Yes, it has heartfelt moments. Yes, it can have action. Yes, it has high fantasy concept. But it's a comedy. It's funny. And when they made it the anime, they didn't make it funny. And that is really a failure. And the animation is weird and off too. It's just, I don't think it's a good anime. I'm going to keep watching it because I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan. But if you're not watching it and you're not liking it, I understand. I think it fails on its own premise. Now, could it be a D? I could see an argument to make it a D. I don't think it's average, but really off of its own property that it's making an anime off of, unlike Terminator, which really looked at its premise, right? It's basic. It's one that it took from and elevated it into a new level, and you really use that anime medium to tell a really good story. Rick and Morty, the anime, does the opposite. It doesn't really use the anime structure to really do anything with it. And there's a lot of good comedy animes. It's not like anime can't do comedy. And I really would have liked to see how they would have made the comedy version of this the anime of Rick and Morty, which I just don't think it did. I don't think it did well. I'm just going to say no, I think it's just a failure. So I'm sorry, failure on Rick and Morty the anime. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. All right, next one. Nari Cheer For You. I'm going to put if you like this type of thing. It's a sports anime. I'm not the biggest sports anime guy. This one's about cheerleading. I think if you like cheerleading animes, I don't think there's a lot of them, but this one for you, I think this one will be for you. I've only watched a couple of episodes. It's not really my cup of tea, but my partner, she loves this one, so I can see how people would really like this type of thing. So I'm going to put, if you like this type of thing, definitely take a watch. I think you'll like it. Next one, Sakura of Rice and Ruin. This is a video game adaptation of an anime, and it's all right. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's basically average. It's okay. Right? It's an okay anime. That's all I really got to say about it. If you like the video game, go ahead and take a look at the anime. It doesn't do a terrible job of adapting it. That's it. Next up we have is True Beauty. Now for this one, I'm going to give it a, if you like this type of thing, True Beauty is just not for me. I'm going to say that. It's not for me. I did not enjoy it at all. I did not like the premise. I didn't like anything about it. I would probably put it in the F tier if it was for me. But I am hearing people talk about how they like this one. So I'm going to put it there. So if you like it, let me know. If you think I'm completely wrong and talking out my ass, let me know as well. But True Beauty is just not one for me. Okay, and we're down to our last one here. And this one was really controversial. And I don't know why it was controversial, okay? I really don't know why this one was controversial. So this one is Twilight Out of Focus. I think it's a solid B. It's all right. It's not. I think it's a good kind of slice of life romance. To put it there, you get like a view of kind of, and it is a gay anime, and I guess for that because it does have gay relationships in it, people really went crazy about it. But honestly, if you don't care about the fact that they're gay romances, which I personally don't, I'll watch them the gay or straight romances. It's fine. It gives you a different perspective from multiple people and gives you different angles as it rotates around a film club. And I think it's fine. It's a fine slice of life. I do think there's better ones out there. I think Senpai no Tokunoku is a better anime in general, but I don't think that it's a bad anime. I don't see why it got a lot of flack for that one as well. Now, I know we're almost done, but I want to add in one more to our list. And I'm adding this to a list. I really want to talk about some of the spring animes that are holdover from the season. Things like Dead Dead Demons, DDD Destruction, or Yatagarasu. I really think those are good animes, and I didn't do a tier list for the last season, but if I was, I'd rate them in the A or B range. So I think those are really good. But the one I really want to talk about, because my love of Isekai and my love of this anime for season 1 and season 2, is really the time I got reincarnated as a slime. Now, I love Rimuru, okay? I think season 2 is one of the best seasons of anime, and I would rank it in S tier if this was season 2 of Rimuru. But this season, I really go back to the old adjective, show, not tell, right? Show, not tell. And I think this whole season, and I was hoping from the spring it would get better in the summer, that we would stop being in meeting rooms all the time and actually show us some things that are going on. Now, I know about world building, and I don't mind world building animes. I love them, but the way they are world building is just not engaging. It's very slow. It's methodical. They're telling us a lot of things, but they're not showing us a lot of things. And really, when it comes to having a good show, you want to show and not only tell people things that are happening. And I think Rimuru is just falling into that trap. So I think the Hinata fight was good, but that was last season. But we're finally getting into the Coliseum. And I think the last couple of episodes have been better once the festival has actually started. I think that Rimuru, but it's going to end up being in D tier. All right? I don't think it's going to be anything beyond D. It's been a really bad season. And I, again, love slime. And I really wish more from it. If we do get another season of slime, I hope that it's not like this season and it can go back more to its season 2 roots where it can show everything that's happening while world building. Again, think back to Walpurgis and talking about demons. They just didn't sit in meeting rooms. They had about one meeting about it, and then it was into Walpurgis, where this one's just elongating those meeting times. So I really think it just needs to switch some things up. So Rimuru, it's a D. Now, this is my list. I told you what I think is S tier, A tier, B tier, what's average, what is just straight trash. And if you like those type of things, those animes that I think that you'll like, and I also have animes I didn't watch. And again, I would like you to come in the comments and let me know about some of those animes I haven't watched, if I should go back and watch them, especially stuff like Nier Automata, the second half. Let me know if it's gotten better, if it's the same. Again, I like the first half of it, so I am a fan there. Let me know about Shy. right? Because I just started that. Or the Montagari series. I want to know if it's worth getting into. I haven't watched any of them, so it's really hard for me to get into these spin-offs. I want to watch it from the beginning, but let me know. Put it down in the comments because I like to give you some great anime recommendations that I always do. And when the fall season comes, stay tuned to the channel. You'll see a review for every episode of that season. So I hope that you have learned some great animes and overall that you've gotten your great anime recommendations.